All right. Can we be heard? Hello. Hello. Welcome, Planet Xbox Podcast, episode 88. Happy New Year. I know it's been a while. We've been essentially gone for pretty much for the holidays, but you know, enough news happened. We can get talking and recapping. I am your host, the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I got most of the panel here, so we're gonna start with Ole Man Logan.
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy New Year. I'm glad to be back here at Planet Xbox. It's been, man, I was getting a little worried. I was like, is Planet Xbox ever coming back? But it was a nice break, honestly. You know, took some time off, played a hell of a lot of games. Took in the New Year's, celebrated Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff. And yeah, man, just happy to be back. Happy to be here. Happy to see Jay looking fresh as hell, my guy. And, yep. Just ready to get to it, man.
Yup, and Jay, speaking of...
Oh, yeah, what's up, guys? It's 2022, new year. Hype, a lot of new games coming out this year. A lot of new opportunities and everything, so... Yeah, we got so much to cover, so much that's been happening in terms of gaming from all sides, honestly, from Xbox to PlayStation, Nintendo, everything, so... Yeah,
you bought
it. Brand new year, man.
He's buying. I don't hear him buying, but I don't know.
No, you didn't hear it? Like, all
right. And Sad Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, it's good to be back. It's good to be back with the panel, back with the fam, like, back with some amazing ass dudes, like, to talk about this game and stuff, man. Like, I'm loving it. Like, I'm loving the energy that we bring in the night. Like, I'm feeling really excited. Been playing some good games, some surprising games. Thanks to Game Pass and also thanks to some deals that Xbox has had. Like, I want to talk about this game called Blasphemous. Yeah.
Okay.
It's tight. It's tight. I like it.
All right. Speaking of, let me make sure I don't got this. I don't got Jay's camera all jacked up. My bad, buddy. Yeah, I did have it all jacked up. Speaking of, all right, so games. I know it's been a while since we all kind of been like podcasting and whatnot. So I'm going to, obviously, what's everybody's been playing. Who wants to get us started with that?
Oh man, I know you'd be playing a lot of shit, man.
Man, dude, I've been playing. So I ended 2021 with 54 games beat.
You nut.
My wife and I, dude, I did a end of the year stream.
Yep. That
went for like 12 plus, I think almost 14 hours. Knocked Metro Exodus out of there. Played some Halo. Got through. We finished Outriders together. I don't even remember. I played a whole bunch of stuff, and it was just like knocking stuff out, clearing that backlog out of there, and I'm at 6 already for this year.
Oh, I'm only 2 behind you. I'm at 4.
Well, I've been kind of doing I've been working on like my backlog, like really trying to get that stuff cleared out. So I've been playing some obscure ass old games, but I've been having a ton of fun. The most fun that I had was playing, not gonna lie, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, because that game is
that was a good stream you had on that.
Absolutely, that shit was absolutely that game had me laughing the whole entire time. I was like, man, they really did put out this game. And then I did go through, played through, finished Alan Wake Remastered, got that played through and did all the 2 episodes. I finished Ratchet and Clank. Then I did a 50 Cent Enslaved, and then I played a Binary Domain.
We gotta talk about
it. I saw because I think I saw like Colt Eastwood posting about it, and then Smooth's like, I want to hop on this too, and then I was like, shit, I still got my like physical copy of it, so I put that baby in. Man, there's something about that FPS boost that just makes 3. Because I went back, so mind you, I went from Binary Domain to playing Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. And it was so crazy to see like how well the Series X could boost like that frame rate up, right?
Yeah.
It had that locked 60 FPS. It looked really crisp. Game played really nice, and I had a lot of fun playing it. And then I went to Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which is, I think a 2011, 2012 game. and that did not have FPS boost on, and it was rough to like get through. But I liked the characters and the world and the gameplay and stuff, so I was able to chug through it. But man, going back without that boost,
Yeah.
oh, I just wish it was a feature on every game.
Yeah.
But I think that sums up the games that I beat. I think I might be missing one. Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I played through that. That was a phenomenal game. Good job, Ember Labs, for that was like their first title ever that they put out. Like, I was very impressed for a studio's first title. And then I'm currently now working through Life is Strange: True Colors. I'm gonna get through that. So that's my next.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my list this year. I was just mad because the game is at 30 frames per second.
No, it's at 60 now. They did update it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then is it still on sale?
They did get it updated to. There's a performance. There's a frame rate mode, and then there's a quality mode now.
What the hell?
Yeah,
in a game like that, it's not even necessary. What the?
No, it's not necessary, but it does. Like, I put it to the performance, and it you can definitely tell the difference that it is running at 60. I think they put that patch out like a month or so after the game came out, because I believe that was like a requested feature, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll put it out there, because I don't think it's a graphically intense game, but it does look better with the 60 FPS, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
Old man. All right. So, Jay, what did you end up finishing off 2021 with? How many games you ended up finishing, and what games you've been playing since we last spoke?
I gotta pull up my list because I forgot the specific number. It wasn't
Obviously also still playing Halo.
Yeah.
Loving Halo still. My God.
13 games beat. The last game I beat was Horizon Zero Dawn. Currently trying to finish up the platinum on Spider-Man Remastered so I can get onto Miles Morales and platinum that game. Oof. And in terms of new games I've been playing lately, I started up Tales of Arise on PS5. So,
Okay.
But I've mainly been putting my time into Spider-Man. Like, I don't have too much to finish in that game. I'm like 90% like clear with that game right now. So it's just finishing up all the side missions and the crimes in each district. That's pretty much it. And then the platinum's right there. So playing that, and on the Xbox side of things, I've just been playing Apex with the boys for the most part. That's pretty much it. It's a couple other games on there I got to clear up as well, like Gears 5 and stuff. So I'll get to that eventually.
Awesome. And Sad Boy, I know you were eager to talk about some of the games you've been playing, man. Would you end up finishing up last year with? I know you be going hard though.
My list, I beat at least it was 32 games.
Mm-hmm.
The last games that I beat was like the gunk, and it was Halo. So that's what I ended off with.
Yep.
I played like a lot of good games last year. Some were old, but I mean, like, for the most part, they were experiences that I needed to have, like The Line and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to beat that. That was a fantastic story, like really good. And that was from a suggestion from you, because I know that you played it, and I was just like, damn, like I want to see this. Like, I've been meaning to play it, but it's just like been a lot of shit. The shit around that 360 era time, but I don't know. Like, I mean, for the most part, I've been playing Skyrim a lot. Like, I hop back into Skyrim. I feel like I'm gonna put like another 500 hours into that game, just be to walking around and doing shit. Forza 5, I've been bouncing in and out of that when I need like a palate cleanser. I've been playing the Lego Builders, kind of like a puzzle game thing. That's really cool too. Like, that's a really cool kind of like demo game type thing. Blasphemous I bought because I saw somebody on Twitter say, hey, yo, like this game, I think it was probably Jazz or somebody, who knows, but I saw somebody talking about it. And they were talking about like the combat, and I mean the aesthetic of the game has always pleased me. Like, I was like into kind of like this medieval religious type of horrible fucking world. Like, the violence in the game is just like crazy. Like, it's like you would think like this was like almost like old God of War. Like you'll have like a special attack, and like shit, if you stun the person, like he will push, like he will jump on and step on the shield and crush the person. I was like, God damn. Like, so it's really violent. Like, I was like, this is actually really cool. Like, the bosses seem cool. But it was, like Blasphemous. In a couple games that came into Game Pass, there's Gorogoa that is like pretty cool, kind of like a puzzle game. And there's Olia Olia,
Ali,
but
Ali?
it's like it looks like Ouija. Yeah, some.
Oh,
no,
I know what you're talking about. OU. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. OU. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Oua. Yeah, and in the pedestrian I've been playing too.
Pedestrian,
but,
yeah,
I
I'm
hopped
stuck
back
on that
into
one for a minute. But
Yeah, I'm stuck on that jump too. I was like, yeah, let me just bounce up out of this for a minute. But I hopped back on the Mass Effect, continuing my playthrough to through Mass Effect 2. But Blasphemous and Destiny, I have been playing a bunch of Destiny,
I
like
haven't
with the
seen
Witch
you on that
Queen
Destiny
coming
for
up,
sure.
like. Yeah, like with the Witch Queen, like that. So I'm just
that
hyped
game,
doing
man.
my
I
dailies,
played
doing
too
my
much of that
grinding.
game.
Yeah, like so that's been what I've been playing. Like it's just been games on games on games, bro. Like it's like just play games, bro. Like
yeah, so I end up finishing. So my list, I ended up finishing it with 41. Like the games that really capped off the year were obviously Halo Infinite, the Gunk, Serious Sam, Binary Domain was the last game I beat of the year. It was Binary and Townscaper, maybe, but Binary Domain, like I said, that FPS boost. I was like, yo, why did I'm surprised I missed that game during the 360 era but then again, when the 360 came out, it was, late high school, college days. Like I was, the things I were doing then, like I was gaming, but I wasn't gaming like to that point. Like I had my core games, which was during the 360 era, which was Halo, Gears of War, and maybe a Call of Duty. So I wasn't venturing off a lot with different like games. I really like when the 360 came out, I started off hardcore, and then as I got into like college, I casualed it into and only stuck with franchises that I knew I would like, Gears of War and Halo, obviously, and then a game here or there. So a lot of these games that fell into that mode that was coming out in like 2009, 2010 and stuff, and 2012. If it wasn't a Halo or Gears, I probably didn't check on it. You know what I mean? And so Binary Domain is literally a Gears of War clone to like the max. And the thing is, it's like, all right, whatever. But the reason why I appreciated it, it wasn't like, all right, just some generic gaming, you shooting robots, right? The story was actually dope. That was a dope story to the point I was like, yo, I would like, I like this story, bro. I like where it went. Like, and I was like, you know what? Bravo to like the Sega team, and like that. It was a good enough Gears of War clone. It had its own story. The gameplay was superb. I already knew how to play it because of Gears of War. And like it could use a res boost, but the performance of the game, it just made it seem so seamless, and that's literally what allowed me to continue to play it because it felt like a current game.
It didn't feel like a 360 game.
Yes.
To be honest, when I was playing it, like I was like, holy shit, like this looks like it, yeah, the resolution was a little bit lower, but I was like, this feels good.
Yeah.
Like this feels like I'm playing a new game.
And
But
then,
the thing that I'd like to just quick, dude, the 360 generation, when you go back and play them older games, there's like not too many nowadays. It's like that stuff, them crazy one-off obscure titles. Because that's what I kind of realized when I went back and played Binary Domain. I'm like, there is nothing really like this anymore too much. Everybody's kind of playing safe bets.
Playing the safe, yep.
And sticking to like sequels and big, because like when I look back, I think of Lollipop Chainsaw, Shadows of the Damned. Like Binary Domain was one of them. Enslaved and I'm blanking on one of the games I'm trying to think of, but there was just so many unique games that generation that it's just nice to go back and play them actually.
Yeah, and I also like the start of this year, I did the game Unpacking on Game Pass. I played that exclusively through the cloud, got the 100% on that. I did Racing with Ryan on Game Pass. I did that through the cloud, got the 100% completion on
all that. God damn, what the hell? There was like some days I'm like, what the hell is Smooth playing over here?
And then right now the game
what the hell is Racing with Ryan?
The game that I'm playing right now, thanks to FPS boost, like now, all right, so I had played this game a little bit back in like 2015 or 2014, wherever it came out, and I put it in my backlog, and it literally stayed in my backlog for like 5 years. And that's Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. This game, I find out this game is lit. And with FPS boost and auto HDR, yeah, we got a free mastered here. We got a free mastered right here. So I'm like, okay.
People slept on Sleeping Dogs, man. That was a solid game.
Yeah, they did.
Like, that was such a great game, and then we've never seen anything else in that franchise after that.
Yeah,
but that was like the last... Well, that was
No,
because
they
it was
were
like
in
it was gonna be
talks
called
with
like what?
people.
True, it was originally like True Crime. It was
Crime,
supposed to be
yeah.
a True Crime.
That's
game.
no wonder, because I'm sitting there talking to my friend at
It-
work. And I'm like, yo, I was like, the game Sleeping Dogs on sale for like $5.
It's the same devs.
It,
yeah.
I
it was
was-
supposed to be True Crime, but then I think Activision owns the license, but they didn't want to develop the game anymore, so they sold the game off. Like their studio that developed it, if I remember correctly, like they wanted to still develop it and finish it, but then Activision's like, okay, well, just don't call it True Crime, and then I think another publisher picked it up and then footed the bill, which I can't remember who.
Okay, no wonder, because I remember, because I was trying to describe it to my friend. I was like, dude, have you ever played like True Crime Streets of LA back in on the PS2 day? He was like, yeah. I was like, Sleeping Dogs is it's like that. It's like, imagine a video game version of like Into Deep or Deep Cover, like, but it takes place in Hong Kong, and I'm like, this is a dope ass game. I love some of the things that you do in this game, and it makes me want to go back and play like True Crime Streets of LA and stuff like that. But I like it, man. With FPS boost, it's the perfect way. We got the true definitive version of that game. If you're playing on console, obviously, I know there's like the PC version that exists.
You got the PC.
120 FPS, 4K.
Yeah.
You can play it on PC.
Bullshit.
Like, okay.
I was like, okay, I'm not playing on PC. People don't understand. I still got a 980 Ti. I can't. There's capture programs I can't use because I don't have a 10 series or better. Like, it's horrible. Like, I don't claim PC gaming whatsoever. The crazy thing is, once I change my GPU, I'll actually have a meaningful gaming PC. All I have to do is literally upgrade it to like a 3060 or even a 2060, and then I would have a legit gaming PC. But because the CPU and the RAM is good, I have like 2 SSDs in here. Everything is good, but the GPU is bottlenecked by the GPU. But other than that, like, yeah, I played a ton of games. I'm off to a good start. It's kind of and like, oh man, I'm trying to tackle the backlog. Like, there's a lot of games. A lot of games in my backlog have been treated to FPS boosts. One of my favorite games, Cameo Elements of Power, looks like a true free master with 4K, 60 frames per second. I want them to put out another Cameo. Probably won't happen, but this is the closest thing to it. I'm probably not going to replay it again because the controls are just too wonky for me. I don't know how I did that game.
Tried.
Yeah, I tried, but it's like, I don't know how, because the face buttons is to change characters, right? Like B, Y, and X, and then Cameo's like generic moves aren't like the best, so it takes some getting used to. He said, Blessed Red says my 2070, but like, yeah, man, I think people. The thing is that
Buy it
I
off
don't
him,
want
dude. Why wouldn't you buy it off him?
because I think he wants more than a console for it.
He's not going to charge you more than a console for a 2070. He literally cannot justify that price. On that card, no.
Was it $500? Is that what we agree? Was it? If it's $500, I'll probably suck it up and do it, because I'm waiting on some spare cash. So yeah, that I might actually do it. You can go ahead and go to UPS right now and start preparing it, and I'll send you as soon as the money comes in. I'll hit your PayPal. But yeah, I need to get rid of it. I'll give you my GPU as well. I only literally want it so I can use my second capture card. That's only reason why I want it. Okay, so
one thing, like I wanted to do like a project, like I wanted to do a project where it was the old case for the OG Xbox.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people do it, like they'll turn it into like a PC, and like I was like, I want to do that. Like I still have my OG Xbox. I just have to figure out, like, watch a couple tutorials and like talk to my bro about parts and shit like that. What I'm looking for, because I could honestly play a 1080p. Like, just give me frames. Like, if it's like 1080p, 144, whatever frames or some shit, like, I'll play it. Like, so it's just like, that's a little project that I'm thinking about doing for sure, though. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know about all that, but
Oh, you got it, dude. You got your Series S still, right?
yeah, of course.
Just buy that. That X screen thing.
oh yeah, that's what.
Buy that, man. Just buy that, and you got
I don't
a
need-
mobile
like,
Series
I'm-
S. You're good. You're good at 1080.
Yeah.
No,
like
but
I
he
was
wants to
saying,
build a
like,
PC inside of an
I
Xbox
did.
casing. That's
Yeah. Inside the frame, like, to use the frame for it, because I've seen folks do it, and I thought it was pretty cool to do so. Like
yeah.
like a lot of RGB shit in it and stuff. But all right.
All right, so One thing I want to tackle, that I got a couple of things I did this week pissed some people off. I don't know what I did last week, but it blew up. Okay, well, we got a couple of things to talk about. All right, what should we talk about? Should we go about Final Fantasy or Ubisoft or?
Man, hold on. I want to kick off one thing
Go ahead.
real quick. GoldenEye for Xbox.
Yes.
When do we
Yes.
think? Because we see the achievements. The game
Yep.
exists.
Yep.
It exists. When do we think? Because there's 2 people out there, I think, that actually have achievements for it and stuff. So the damn game thing exists. There's 2 people on True Achievements that have
That have
achievements.
the achievements
in
for it?
GoldenEye. They have.
Hold on, let me
They
see
have
who
like
it is.
800 points.
Let me go
You
to
never,
this.
you never looked at. Hold on.
I didn't
hold
look
on,
at
let
to
me-
see who had the achievements. I didn't see who.
Yeah,
had.
no, they're rare. They're developers.
Oh, okay.
On True
Okay.
Achievement, but they have. But I mean, so it, like literally, the game is it exists. Like that's the dumbest thing about it. How long? I want to know you guys' opinion. How long do you think it's going to take before we actually get like information on this?
Like if they already know that it's in the wild and shit, then it's like, I mean, it should be pretty soon. Like I would expect. Like I mean, if it's already
Because,
in the
like,
wild and you got the
these
devs
guys-
playing it and they got
These guys got achievements in this game like back in October of last year. So let me- I'm gonna shoot you the DM smooth or just like screenshot. I just grabbed real quick of it, and then I'll put the link in here. But like, when do we see this thing coming to us?
No fucking idea. I never.
Well, a better question is
Like,
how
I was
do we think it's
so
gonna
damn
play,
hyped
though?
when that got put out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and I'm just sitting here patiently waiting for it.
Was it even? What is it even? Like a remake, remaster? Like
Yeah,
It-
is it
I
playing,
believe there was. I mean, if you remember, there was supposed to be a 360 version that I
Yeah.
think Nintendo or somebody like made it so it couldn't happen. But the reason that this is more valid is because the actual achievement list is different versus the leaked 360 list. Like there's actually more
Okay.
stuff in it. So and then
Yeah.
obviously developers have the achievements and stuff. So I want to know when this baby's going to come out because man,
So
I'm
what
gonna be
about-
amped- I'm going to be hyped when it does.
So have you read the list of the achievements? Like, are they like story-based achievements? Are they multiplayer-based achievements?
They even posted like there's photos of the achievements. Like the achievements actually have achievement photos. So they're like complete
Okay.
dam, complete facility, right? Complete, you know,
Okay.
there's like a complete every single level achievement, and then there's
Bet.
the achievements to beating. Let's see here, beat the game on secret agent, 00 agent. Unlock
Okay,
like
bet.
laser, like they have like certain like challenge achievements and stuff. The actual like if you go to that link that I sent you guys in the DM, there's each achievement has achievement art to it as
Yeah.
well. So, like this thing's 100%
Like it's
legit.
updated, I would hope.
And it's gonna
Yeah.
have multiplayer, right? So is it gonna be online multiplayer? I mean, if it's online multiplayer, that's gonna be kind of huge.
Yeah,
You know,
that'd
I
be
feel
hard.
like it's got to be if it's kind of like what Perfect Dark did. Perfect Dark when that came out, it had online multiplayer. So like, I just want to know when the hell is.
I think
I've been excited ever since.
I think well, you got to think about it. So what's the anniversary for the fam? If it could be the anniversary for the fam or the anniversary for the game. If it's the anniversary for the game, it'll be August of this year.
Well, because I do think James Bond
And that would be
is
25
celebrating-
years, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
No, James Bond's is older than that.
No,
I
I'm
think
talking
it's
about
celebrating
GoldenEye.
this year.
I'm talking about GoldenEye itself.
Oh, but
Oh,
I think Bond, like the films and stuff itself, is celebrating 60 years.
60 years, but
It's
I think so.
it's celebrating
GoldenEye,
some type
though.
of thing.
GoldenEye anniversary. The movies don't matter. The game itself.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
like,
I mean,
yeah,
just
like
wanna
it-
know how
like-
this plays though. Like,
I don't know. Because if it's 60 years, like 1997 is technically what? 24 years, so that's not 25. You wouldn't release something 24. I was hoping it would be like a stealth drop next month or something like that, or you know.
That's what I was hoping. Like I thought when that list came out, I thought it was gonna be a stealth drop, and then it's just been crickets ever since that happened.
Yeah. Hold on, somebody told me to check my Twitter. Ain't nothing on my Twitter. But yeah, GoldenEye. I'm looking forward to this. What I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a dual release for Xbox and Nintendo Switch. And, and I think they would have, if it's online, I think it will be crossplay between the two platforms. I'd like, because I'll play through the game. I enjoyed 007. That reminds me of basement gaming, bro.
Oh yeah.
Odd Job.
There's an achievement to play as Odd Job in multiplayer. That's one of the achievements.
Yeah, this dude had a legit advantage for being short.
He had that height advantage.
No, for real. But no, I think that's dope. I'm looking forward to it. We also got a report on Final Fantasy games not coming to Xbox this generation. I know there's a sub game that's coming. It's called what? What's that? It's not a mainline game. It's like a sub game that's coming for both.
Oh
platforms.
yeah, like the Chaos, like we do saying Chaos the whole time. Yeah, it's that one.
Okay.
That's one.
Final Fantasy game that looks complete garbage. Yeah, nobody cares about that shit.
Yeah, but for like Final Fantasy 16, obviously Final Fantasy 7 remake is not on Xbox. So
yeah,
people got upset at my take, and I did not think it was going to be that big of a deal. But people really got upset at the take, and what I said was, this is the reason why I support publisher buyouts and developers being acquired. Because if that's what it takes for Xbox to get games, well, by all means do it. And people took heavy offense to that. I don't understand.
It sounds a little bit evil, but I get what you're saying. Like your sentiment is in something good. Like it's good because you want these titles to be experienced.
Yeah.
But
it's just, to me, what I read it when Smooth said that, I was like, if Xbox is just going to get shafted left and right for these titles, it's like the only way that they can get these it's not that I think Smooth wants them to buy Square out. I think it's just the only way to get these games basically on an Xbox platform is if Xbox does buy it out.
Yeah.
That honestly should not be a thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. The only way that Xbox can get X, Y, and Z game is to just buy out the publisher.
Yes.
It should just be those games should just come to the platform.
If you look at the relationship that they have with Square Enix and Sony, it's a very close partnership. Now, obviously, we can sit here and say, hey, obviously they're going to sell more units and more platforms the games are available on, but it's all about that partnership and relationship that you built over years. That's all it is between Square Enix and PlayStation, particularly when it comes to JRPGs like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. Like, we know they sell way more on PlayStation. They're gonna attach more on PlayStation. You look at Final Fantasy 15. Like, Final Fantasy 15 didn't do well on Xbox.
Was it 70, 21%, 70? But I see that thing is 0.
And like I don't agree. I personally don't agree with it. Like, I think these games should come to Xbox and it should be available to Xbox gamers, no matter what the attach rate is on the system.
Absolutely,
there's a basic gamers who play those kind of games. Look at Scarlet Nexus. Look at Tales of Arise. Like, those games perform very very well. So why not put a Final Fantasy 7 remake on the next box, or Final Fantasy 16? And they can keep saying it doesn't sell, but it's gonna sell something. Something's better than nothing.
Something is better than 0, right? Like, And people were upset at the fact that I said I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy, but as an Xbox fan, this is the reason why I support publisher buyouts. And the reason why I said that, they was like, "You don't like Final Fantasy, but you want them to buy." It's like, no, but exactly what Ole Man said. It's not that I want them to buy it. It's just like there's a trend here. Xbox probably had no shot of getting Ghostwire Tokyo or Deathloop, because the whole deal with they had Bethesda and Sony was money hat at Starfield before the acquisition happened. So now we're able to get those games just by default. So because they own them now. So the thing is that I may not like Final Fantasy, but I'm pretty sure there's people. Some of you guys on the panel like Final Fantasy. Like, it's not for me personally, but I got a ton of friends that would like to play Final Fantasy. So it was like, yes, that's why I said that, because there's a ton of games that come to Xbox that I don't freaking care for, but I got friends that do. But it's not right that we shouldn't, just because they see PlayStation as the bigger brand, doesn't mean you should shun a whole nother brand, a whole nother platform out of these games. I don't like that Square Enix does it with their Japanese-based games, and I don't like that Atlas does it or like some select Sega studios does it, where they just kind of just get lazy and don't want to make games, and then Microsoft has to go out of their way just to get a game ported to the platform. Like, for all means, if it's got to be like that, you guys can get bought the fuck out. Like at that point, you know what I mean? So
like when you said what you said, I knew that it wasn't malicious. Like it wasn't like you just wanted to take the fucking games away, but it was just like just to give people an opportunity to play them on a different side, like who are interested or who do have a history. Like I grew up playing them on PlayStation, but I enjoy playing them on my Xbox. Like I played Final Fantasy 7, 8 on my Xbox. Like I enjoy them. Like it's like that. Like those are like nostalgic feels. So it's just like. But like Coke said, I mean, it's all about that history. Like they've been had this connection. They've been had this history, and for them to want the Square to want like the face of Final Fantasy to be like tied to PlayStation. I mean, maybe just this year or like maybe the next 2 years or whatever. Like maybe that perception with the audience will like boost sales of the PlayStation. Maybe it'll boost sales with them games. I mean, it all like it sucks that it is this way or that they think this way, but it's just like the numbers don't lie. The support that they get from Sony and like just that relationship that they built, it doesn't lie. Like, I mean, obviously they've been in fucking brothers in arms for like decades now. So this is like, it makes sense, but it sucks though. Like, I mean, I get it, but like, I would like to play like Final Fantasy games or like Japanese style games. Like, I mean, when you look at the Xbox store, like there are like a good selection of like RPGs are kind of like side scroller Japanese type of titles coming to Xbox. Like they're like it's steadily getting more and more. And then you have like those heavy RPGs and those fighting games, like the fighting game that they showed at E3. It was the two of them that were kind of like tied together. It was an RPG and then it was a fighting game, but they were made by like they were devs from some studio that's not around anymore, but it's like Japanese focused centric stuff. So it's just like, I mean, it's steadily getting there, but with Final Fantasy and with Square being so huge in that space, like it kind of does like hurt that they're not there, because you got like fans like Addict, like he loves the shit, and it sucks that like Final Fantasy remake like isn't being there though. Like he would like to play it on his Xbox and shit like that. So I mean, like it sucks though, but it's the reality.
I think also time will tell how successful this model is going to be for select games, because not every game is gonna hit. You know, obviously Final Fantasy 7 Remake was an amazing title, and that game's just gonna sell off the virtue of it being an action RPG version of Final Fantasy. But we'll see how 16 does. I think 16 is gonna perform pretty well, but they can't do this with every game, and time's gonna tell. And we know how Square Enix operates too. If something doesn't quote unquote meet their expectations, they're gonna throw the developers on the bus and make up a whole bunch of bullshit things, and then try to throw the game into Game Pass or PlayStation Now.
Because they gotta get that life support, right?
Yeah, we know how they operate, and it's not just that, but also what they've been doing on the PC side of things. Their PC ports have not been good as of recently. So they're losing support from the PC side. You got the Xbox side of things where they don't fuck with you at all. And now you're just like relying on PlayStation solely. You better make sure that these games that you're dropping exclusively on PlayStation 5
they knock it out
really well. Yeah. Because if they don't, then they're gonna be like, you know what, we should put our games on Xbox as well.
And you gotta think like with that mentality right there, which obviously makes very much sense when you look at a game like Outriders, right? Which apparently Xbox is the sole entire reason why that game failed and didn't succeed and meet sales goals. But then you're just going to limit basically your entire audience to PlayStation support and everything.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, so then I go back to looking at it. I was like, well, if that game failed so badly, we want to blame all the Xbox guys for playing on Game Pass. Where the hell were all the PlayStation dudes?
The thing is, they praise Game Pass for the engagement that they got with the game.
Yeah.
But then they blame the developers for it not being a success because of how like unpolished and everything the game was. I think another point that Addict made that was really great. How do you expect these games to sell on Xbox when you don't put the previous games on it? Yeah. And the example that he gave was Kingdom Hearts. How do you expect Kingdom Hearts 3 to sell well on Xbox when you never put 1 and 2 on the system? Like that doesn't make sense. So like their business model, you know, we're gonna see how it evolves over time. Obviously, we know that Square Enix is getting into NFTs and shit like that. They're getting into a lot of shady business.
Yeah,
Like I
that
said,
wild shit.
I said it when we were on my channel. Like, fuck Square Enix. Honestly, they can fuck off with the way they've been doing things recently. I don't agree with nothing that they've been doing. They're on my shit list as well as Platinum Games. Like, these guys are pieces of shit with the way that they operate their business in the gaming industry. So whatever happens, happens. At the end of the day, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy where I want to play it, but I don't support a lot of the things that they've been doing recently. Throwing studios under the bus, having shitty PC ports, and just nickel and diming you for little shit. Like, nah, fuck you guys.
I mean, yeah,
like my bro.
Go ahead, my bad.
Like just one more thing. Like I mean, like my bro and I, like I mean, we grew up on Square games, like Bouncer, Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy Tactics, like fucking Final Fantasy 2, 3, and 4. Like I mean, like we grew up on this, so it's like the way we see them, just kind of like, it's like people will call it an evolution, and it's just like, to us, it doesn't really seem like that, especially with the business practices, especially with just like how they're doing their games. Like it seems like there's a bit of a disconnect, but I mean, like. It's just like this is like we're big fucking fans though. Like, so it's like it's crazy to see Square, like we were fans when they were like Square Enix, bro. Like that, like we was fans like around that. So it's just like it's really weird to see them with SquareSoft and shit like that. Like it's just like it's really weird to see this. And I mean, I'm hoping that, like, because they did release Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 on Xbox. So, I mean, that is something. So if you want those games, buy them. I bought them because those are, like, a part of my childhood for sure. Like, it's just, like, buy these games. And, I mean, hopefully they see something that makes them want to put more on, though. Like, I would hope so. Like, because there is, like, a niche fan base within the Xbox community that really does like these Japanese to Korean Eastern games. Is just like it may be like a little bit small though, especially compared to Sony. So Sony's community. So
yeah, I've not been the biggest fan of Square Enix. I mean, I like some of their Western things that they've done. You know, obviously Outriders and Tomb Raider and Guardians of the Galaxy and whatnot. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, if they ever felt like getting rid of their Western division, Xbox, call them up. But the Final Fantasy team, yeah, it is what it is. But I'm not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts and shit like that. So to me, it's not a big deal. But I just hate the idea of Xbox missing out on a major third party release when it doesn't have to. It's like they act like it's impossible to develop for. I don't know what it is, the type of biasness or what kind of ridiculous deals that they have. It's like these are deals literally Xbox are not allowed to have without backlash. That's why they have to. That's why they have to go off and do studio acquisitions.
Yeah.
So next thing we want to talk about is Ubisoft. Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox first. Much like EA Access came to Xbox first before eventually went multi-platform, and then EA Access then eventually went to Xbox Game Pass. But this was like we got like a two-prong like announcement. You got Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox at some point, so that's probably going to be sometime this summer, maybe, right? Q2, Q3. But that came off with an announcement about Rainbow Six Extraction coming to Game Pass day one later this month. Thoughts on that?
Justin McGarry said it's a trial period for Ubisoft to see how Rainbow Six is gonna do before because there's been rumors about Ubisoft bringing their games to Game Pass for a while now.
Yeah.
So obviously they've been having talks about it. So they're trying to see how it's gonna look with Rainbow Six Extraction, with the engagement with that. Which that game it didn't have any momentum whatsoever. People seen it and said whatever, and yeah. They seen pre-order numbers just like they seen for other games. Like, all right, let's throw this in Game Pass, see how Game Pass does. I think eventually they should merge with Game Pass because, like I said, with EA Play Pro, or EA Access, like those numbers combined, obviously Microsoft will figure out some sort of way to get them some sort of a cut from Game Pass subscription numbers to satisfy them as well. plus the overall engagement in terms of the amount of games that would be played within their collection of Ubisoft games would be increased because you're putting it all in one service instead of separating everything.
Yeah.
You know, you're paying $10 to $15 for Game Pass. You're paying $15 for Ubisoft. I mean, yeah, the value is there. It's like $30 a month, $30 a month to have all those games right there. But I think it would be better if they just merge the services together. So I think eventually we'll see that down the line, but it's a pretty good thing.
How does that work though? Like you can merge. All right, so you can merge the services together, right?
Yeah.
But it would have to be literally exclusive to like console and like maybe cloud. The issue I see with that is that the thing is,
it won't be exclusive to console and cloud because it'll be on console and PC. Like
the pricing merger though, because you got to think so. Ubisoft already exists on PC, right? That's where it currently
EA Access does as well.
Yeah, but like, how does EA Access work with Game Pass on PC?
Yeah, so if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you just use the Xbox app and you download the EA games from there, and then you cancel your membership.
Okay.
From Origin. That's what you would do.
So how I see it is that I wouldn't want multiple subscriptions on console. That's why I feel like that's where I support like the merge. Like a merging of them too. I think what's going to happen is it comes on console, and what Xbox Game Pass is going to do is give you perks, a part of Game Pass Ultimate, to get like free months of Ubisoft. You know how they do with like Disney Plus and
Crunchyroll
Discord and Crunchyroll stuff. I think that's going to be like the pull to help because I don't know. I don't see myself subscribing to Ubisoft as well, even though I'm a big Ubisoft fan of their games. It actually makes sense for me. It doesn't make sense for me now because a lot of the games that's going to launch on that, by the time it comes to Xbox, a lot of games that will be there will be games I already own because I've got all the Ubisoft games. So I think it would be a nice pull. I think when they do merge, if they do put it into Game Pass, it would have to be via Game Pass Ultimate to add value to the Ultimate version of Game Pass. And Game Pass Ultimate should probably take a $5 price hike with that. Okay. I would say.
I can see that. Like, I figured like just like Dustin said, it's kind of like that trial phase. It's just like, all right, let's see how this. Like, let's see if Game Pass can actually serve us the way that Xbox hopes it can. I mean, to have this merger. So this is like it's the same way that EA was done, where it's like, I mean, they already tested out games in there until like they like officially like dropped it in there, put it together. So this is like, I'm hoping that Extraction does hit, so then like we can get kind of like that merger. Yeah, because to have too many subscription services on a console, I just don't fuck with it. So it's like I would like to just have it all in one single place, so you can just all focus on it right there. All the games are right there. Like you ain't gotta launch this, unlaunch that, and all of that bullshit. Like you just have it all in one spot. And I think like Xbox likes it that way anyway. So Microsoft likes it that way anyway. Like it's just like a smoother process.
Yeah.
Because like I remember when I had EA Access and I had something else on my Xbox, and I just really didn't like fuck with how they were just separate. I was just like, why don't you just put this here so I could play it, like this, so I could just get to it right there. So I would like that for sure.
Better. This is better than EA Access because you're getting all their games day in.
Yeah, I play more Ubisoft games than I do EA games, so that's
like you're getting all the Ubisoft games day and date when they launch. So whenever the next Far Cry or Assassin's Creed, whatever new IP or new game that they're coming out with, that subscription you're getting day one. So if you're someone that plays a lot of Ubisoft games, or you're looking to get into a lot of Ubisoft games without you having to dish out a bunch of cash on it, definitely.
And you get the Gold Edition, so which is typically the more expensive edition of those games.
Content. All the content, DLC drops, all.
So it's probably worth it. So I could see a subscription like that increasing the price of Game Pass because there's actual value in it. Because like I said, the thing I didn't like about EA Access, I liked about EA Access, they gave you early access to new games, but you couldn't keep them. You didn't keep them with your subscription.
Like 10 hours.
Yeah,
10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah, it was like
Ubisoft, you get the game day and day. It's literally just a mini Game Pass, except it's Ubisoft games. And that's why I think they should try to adopt it a part of the Game Pass. And I would say that would be worth an increase to Game Pass pricing to like another $3 to $5 if possible. Because I think Ubisoft Plus is just the same price as Game Pass, right?
Oh yeah,
think
yeah.
it's like
15, yeah. So
15
for
years, so they would have
15
to obviously it wouldn't just they would have to supplement it some way
Yeah.
somehow.
For sure, for sure. But it's definitely is good news to see that the rumors that were, because I think back in 2020 that's when we first heard about it. When we first started the podcast, that's
Yeah.
when we first heard about it.
Yep.
And now it's all coming to fruition. So we'll see if they actually merge both the services later on in the year. Because I think what they're gonna do, because obviously you're having Rainbow Six drop into Game Pass, right? They're gonna see what the attach rate is for Ubisoft Plus through Xbox. If it doesn't attach well, it's like, all right, let's throw them with Game Pass. If it's like, if they're selling a lot of subscriptions through Xbox, then they're like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna keep it separate, keep it how it is. So I think that's my theory. We don't know how it's actually gonna play out, but
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we shall see. But I'm voting for the game it being merged into Game Pass because I think that's the best option. Because EA Access eventually had to do that. Because Game Pass was just too valuable. Even in Game Pass's early days was more valuable than EA Access off the rip, and so I think that's why that had to happen. Whereas Ubisoft Plus is more compelling because we are looking at like Ubisoft does have like great games, and like I said, I play more Ubisoft games than I do EA games. So that's why it is attractive. It's just that, damn, if they would have announced this shit last year and it happened last year, I would have been subscribed. It would have been a different story because every game they dropped in 2021 and 2020, to me, I think they were all worth day ones to me.
Like, I mean, this one last thing. Like, there's like value in EA Access with the EA shit original games because those are like brand new titles for the most part. Like, they're like new IPs for the EA original.
Yeah, but
like,
sometimes they don't qualify those in the trial period though. Like, that's the thing. Like with EA Access, you still don't get those. Right. It's the day one effect that you don't get. Now what they've been doing with Game Pass Ultimate, they've been giving us early access to play instead of they removed the 10-hour cap, and now this is only EA games, not really the originals. The originals because they could EA original games is just more so their the indie section, and their games could be a lot shorter. So that's why they don't really put the trial there. But like the Maddens and the Battlefield, they open it up. Maybe they give us 2 days to play it before the game release, and then once the game releases, they close it up shop, and then you got to buy it. All right, so let's talk about the Xbox Series console sales. Phil Spencer had an interview with New York Times, and he mentioned that the Xbox Series consoles are so far has been around this. They're selling better than what the Xbox One and what the Xbox 360 did in the same year-to-date cycle. So, like, for example, the first year of the 360, first year of the Xbox One, and first year of the Xbox Series X and S, the Series X and S is leading. And we got the industry analyst Zhuge, who puts them at, going based off what Phil Spencer said, and doing a little math compare, because we do have raw numbers for what the Xbox One did in its first year, because they were still reporting numbers, and we got raw numbers for what the Xbox 360 did. If what Phil Spencer is saying is true, that would put the Xbox Series somewhere north of 12 to 13 million. Anybody else got thoughts on that?
Man, this
I think it's amazing. I think it's so gonna make my bad, bro.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, go ahead.
The Series S, like, we already, like, I mean, before we even, like, when we heard of the X and we heard that there was like a potential of like a smaller version, like a more affordable version, we all came into like agreement and we were like, yeah, like that's gonna sell like hotcakes. Like, and thinking about like the specs wise, when we got like the spec details, we was like, damn, like this little thing can do that. Like it's like, bro, like I played Doom Eternal at 120 on this thing. Like, people are talking about, yeah, bro, like this jank, like it's not doing that, like 900p, yada yada. It's like, bro, this thing does stuff that, like, I mean, I think like a lot of people, once they get it in their hands, like, and they play certain games like that have the 60 frames or that have 120 frames, I mean, a lot of that visual fluff really kind of like goes out the window, where they just like the feel is what's going to capture them. Like they're gonna notice how smooth that is. Like they're not gonna be noticing like a fucking like a blurry bush or some shit in the corner. Like they about to be murking people. Like so it's just like it feels good like that. Like when you playing like Call of Duty, like the actual good Call of Duty. Like when you're playing like the good Call of Duty and you have like that smooth 60 shit or like shit or that 120 and like it just changes the game. Like it changes how shit feels. Like I'm not noticing that. And especially with games with games with certain titles or just games in general just becoming more visual powerhouses, to play something at like 1080p but you have ray tracing or some bullshit like that or like shadow tracing or whatever, it's just like it doesn't feel like it takes away from anything. Like when I played Resident Evil Village and it was like, what was that, they locked it at like 40 frames but with like the ray tracing, it wasn't that bad. Like it was like I played it like I wished it was 60, but I mean like I played it and you got all the visual enhancements that they could put on it and it was great. So I mean for the S to be kind of like spearheading, I mean it was expected because it's lower in price but it's good on power though. Like I don't know, like so many people are tied into the 4K thing, like not getting that like people will buy a fucking PS4 and play God of War and that shit's like not like, you feel me? Like, so this is like shit is good. Like it's good on Microsoft. Like it's good that I think they said the shit, or I think Phil said, somebody said that they were outselling like all the Xboxes that they've had so far. Like they've been doing that good with these. And it's just like, that's amazing. All right, shit, they not outselling Sony, but they're selling. And that's all I care about. Like they doing well for themselves. That's all I care about. I don't care.
Well, they can't outsell Sony because they can't produce as much as Sony. That's the only issue, and I've been telling people this for over a year now. Sony's able to produce more PS5s because of their partnership with AMD, and they got promised more shipments of PS5s over Xboxes. If Microsoft was able to build the same amount of Xboxes as PS5s, both will still be selling out. It'll be neck and neck. It doesn't matter. Demand is just that high because gaming is bigger. It's the biggest it's ever been. You know, when the pandemic started, gaming took off. There was a lot more people that were introduced to gaming. There's more people entering the gaming market currently. Everybody wants a next-gen console. That's just the biggest thing. And it's not only just with the console space, but it's also with PCs. Everyone wants graphics cards. Like, everything is literally selling right now. On top of the fact that they turned it around. They turned around their strategy. There's a lot more titles coming to the Xbox platform. Game Pass is very compelling for a lot of gamers. As you can see, like not only are you getting Xbox first party titles, but you're getting a lot of first party deals from other AAA developers as well. So there's a lot of value there. You know, you get the Series S, you get Game Pass, you get access to hundreds of games. You got the Xbox Series X, an incredibly powerful console. You know, 4K up to 120 hertz for a lot of different titles on there as well. So this generation, like I said before, is probably going to be better than the Xbox 360 generation. Like you're getting back to that mold. Anything that's better than the Xbox One generation is a success, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's promising. It's good. I'm happy to see Xbox in like a position where it's a wanted platform, even though people online tell you how much is not wanted. It's selling well. People are enjoying it, and all they gotta do is just keep up, you know, with the momentum with their releases. So Game Pass is helping, having new games is helping, and having high rated games is helping as well. So hopefully they keep it up. Actually, Xbox was the number 2 seller in the UK. You guys know how much I get on the UK for being overly represented for no reason. But they were the second best selling console, and obviously Nintendo was the first. Nintendo was the highest selling, of course, and Xbox was in second, and so that means Xbox beat PlayStation in the UK, which
in
is
their stomping ground. In their stomping ground, like
in the stomping grounds.
Like it's like because I used to be when I had like my PS4 Pro, like they had like Sony centric YouTube shows, like just how we have like Unlocked and shit over here. Like they had like Sony centric shit over there where I was surprised. Like I didn't know that PlayStation hit so hard in the UK like that. So for them to outsell them, and it's like, I mean, that's crazy to be like right behind Nintendo. Like that's not heard of for real. Not really. Like so. I mean, I'm happy, yo. Like shit, keep it up. Like keep doing your thing, man. Shit. Like it just means more support, more games and shit. So
I just was actually surprised with, not mind you, it's still a small number, but that the series consoles are selling actually. They hit over 100,000 in Japan
already. Yeah, I don't even know.
And that was in like just a little over like a year, where the whole entire Xbox One generation only sold 110,000 in its entire life cycle.
Yeah,
it's their commitment.
So for them to already like, for what's that?
It's their commitment to support that region as well. Remember, Xbox One didn't launch in all markets at the same time. And now you actually have like people from Microsoft going out to Japan and making these partnerships and actually talking about, hey, we're gonna actually support the Xbox in this region, in your country. We're gonna make sure that you have everything that you need instead of half-assing it like they did with the Xbox One generation. That was the biggest issue with Japan. There was no support for Xbox out there. You were just asked out if something happened.
So
didn't Don Matrick like not really like they wasn't really supporting that shit like that. Like in the beginning of the Xbox One generation, like
Don Matrick put a big stain on the Xbox brand in 2013. It was just everything that man did, everything that dude spoke and talked on, just it obliterated Xbox's reputation to the point where Xbox has still been trying to recover from that, and they're finally starting to get some good traction from it.
This shit, because I follow like some streamers from Japan and Korea and shit like that, and like when they talk about Xbox, like you could tell that it's a different vibe from like Xbox One, and I follow like a few on Twitter, and it's like it's completely different from what it was from Xbox One. Like people are actually going out there, like it seemed like they got more fucking Series X's and S's out there than we do out here. Like every time I click on the Jones,
I think it's more available. It's more available because demand isn't as high out there for that system like it is here. The one system I've been seeing in stock a lot is Series S's. Like Series S's have been pretty easy to get.
They've been healthy.
No, I'm saying like from the folks that I've saw, like they've had like Series X's in bags, bro. Like they had like one or two in a bag. I'm like, damn, you need all that? Like, so it's just like, I mean, shit, people are really fucking with Xbox right now. Like the energy's completely different. And for people to say like this feels like Xbox is still going down, are they still in trouble? It's a sinking ship and all of that bullshit. I mean, that just shows delusion, my man. So I mean, like we can't entertain that around here. You feel me? Like this shit is stupid.
Well, you see the people that we got to deal with on the internet. So
the interesting thing though about the at least the UK sales, this December 2021 was the biggest month for Xbox there. Which is sold more in December of 2021 than it did in its launch month of November 2020. So that's pretty big. I'm looking at, but go ahead. My bad.
And I'm pretty sure. Well, I was just gonna say, I'm pretty. Xbox haters out there didn't even make any note of that, did they?
No.
So next month when the PlayStation takes its reign back, they'll come out there and say, look how bad the Xbox is selling.
They're right now they're kind of busy trying to figure out where to see what Halo's numbers are looking like because Microsoft hasn't announced Halo's like sales or their player count and whatnot. Interestingly enough, I don't, like I said, you guys know I'm not the biggest UK hype person in terms of like sales, but I'm looking at their charts, their top 20 game sales. Strangely enough, Halo Infinite is not on their top 20 in sales for December. When you factor in the campaign came out in December, so you would think it would chart. So I'm curious to see what it does NPD wise, because we know Forza Horizon charted despite being on Game Pass, but UK, I'm like the thing is the UK their sales numbers aren't like dramatic. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the thing. So I'm curious to see what people, because people usually big up UK sales when the game, when they get those differences of how much sold, much
it's a narrative. It's a narrative,
right?
Thing.
So
yeah, it's a narrative for sure.
We'll see the NPD there, but yeah, no, Xbox is doing good. Like I said, I've been enjoying my time on the platform. A lot of people have been poking fun, like, oh, now that Halo's out, there's no more games until Starfield.
I'm like, where the fuck you been at, man?
Still don't understand that concept.
Like, they got
What
bad
do you
taste,
mean?
bro. Like,
There's
they got,
shit
like, really
announced.
bad taste,
No,
my
no.
guy.
So what they're talking about is like a big release, because obviously like Xbox had a lot of big releases towards the end of 2021. But if you look at it now with like the delay of Stalker 2,
But was
what's
that
that?
Stalker
Yeah.
a big
Big
release
game.
though? Because was
Fuck
Stalker a
yeah.
big release?
Hell yeah.
I think Stalker would have been a pretty
I didn't think
substantial
Stalker
release.
was a
Like,
big
coming day and date into Game Pass on top of
There's
the way
history
that
with
game was
Stalker,
looking.
bro. Yeah.
Like Stalker has a good base of fans.
They have a good base
out
of
there.
fans, but that's like an equivalent to Metro going into Game Pass.
Nah,
it is.
Metro is a pretty good, has a pretty good community behind it as well. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
games-
but
those
still,
games
my
are
thing is,
well.
I didn't see Stalker, even though I was interested slightly. I didn't see it as this
Yeah.
big megaton that's going to like.
it's not like this huge like
I mean,
AAA
it
game, but
depends
it's
on what
definitely
you're
it definitely
interested
makes it definitely was gonna make an impact in terms of like the amount of people
That's
that
what
are
I'm
gonna be
saying.
playing on the Xbox platform.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't something like a Crossfire that just like we seen it in 2020 and then it disappeared. Like Crossfire, people didn't even know that game was coming out this year.
Yeah.
There's been no promotion, no hype outside of a couple of YouTubers playing it, and then the people that did play it, they weren't like really impressed. I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna buy it. But Crossfire X is like, all right, it's gonna be here and it's gonna be gone. When you look at like even Nintendo has a lot of big games coming out this year. PlayStation does as well throughout the entire year. So I think that's what people are more pointing towards. Like, yo, you guys have to wait until Redfall, Starfield, unless Xbox comes out with a surprise announcement of some shit coming out this like
But
the
there's
first
also
half of
that-
the year.
that,
There's nothing.
That like Replace is coming out though too this year.
When's Replace
They
coming
don't
out?
care about that game, bro.
Like
Well, I
Replace
mean, they
as
just
Dust
said
Falls,
2022.
Tunic comes out in March. Like there's all these games that are coming out and they just like, oh, we're just gonna ignore it. Because think about PlayStation's being carried by Square Enix this year. And that's if Final
not.
Fantasy 16 comes out. Wow,
So
they
you
have
You have Horizon.
Horizon, okay,
You have
great.
Horizon.
Yep.
You got Horizon. You have Sifu.
You said Horizon
Sifu
3
isn't
times,
like a
but-
big.
See,
No,
what
yeah,
the
you
fuck?
have-
See, so we can't cap for freaking Crossfire X, but they can cap for
We
Sifu.
can. We
Sifu
can, but-
literally looks like a fucking Shaq Fu. That's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
You have you played Shaq Fu? That's like
No, you can say that.
No,
Like, yeah.
but
I put
Smooth
Sifu and
got
Crossfire
called
X
out
in the,
for-
in the same shit.
Yeah, but Smooth got called out for saying, "Hey, he's excited for Crossfire," and then
No.
I'm pretty sure somebody.
You
I don't
can't
wanna-
say
I don't wanna say
Sony.
names.
You can't say Sony's getting carried by Square Enix the entire year when they have games announced for this year. The two
so
biggest
Xbox
titles.
have games announced for this year.
Xbox
What's the two biggest
titles?
titles coming out from PlayStation this year?
The two
It's
biggest titles
Horizon
coming
and
out
God
are
of War.
Horizon and God of War.
Horizon
If
and-
God of War comes out this
if-
year.
If
You
God of
also
War
have
comes
GT.
out, I would
You
say
have
yeah.
GT. You have GT7.
All right, that
You
comes
also
out in
have
March.
that.
All right, so we got Forza.
And we got Redfall.
Forza came out already. What are you
No,
talking
Forza
about?
Yeah,
Horizon came out.
but everybody said that Forza didn't count. It wasn't a real game. So
Forza
we don't,
counts.
We just don't
Forza
count
counts.
GT7.
No, we're gonna count both of those games.
Why? Oh,
We're gonna count both of those games.
you're trying to help people that are making these narratives up. Like
No, I'm just
Last-
pointing out
last
the
year-
reality of the situation.
no,
There's content.
I get that. Yeah,
there's more content coming out from PlayStation. Objectively,
There's more
speaking, there's
confirmed
more
content coming out for PlayStation. Yes, you're right.
And
But I don't
and
think it's-
Nintendo as well.
I don't think it's better. Honestly, if you tell me if you line the games up for me, all right. So this is what PlayStation known games know. Actually fuck it. Final Fantasy 16 ain't coming out this year. I don't
not.
believe it.
It's not. I don't
don't
believe
think it's coming out this year.
I don't
So you
believe
got Forspoken, which I'm actually hyped for, even though I know
You hyped for it?
I've been hyped for that game for. Believe it or not, every time I see it, I think it looks awesome. So
Nah, you ain't see the most recent gameplay. That shit
You
looks.
see that like
Yeah, it's a
4-minute
little
demo
floaty and whatnot, but
that
the girl-
IGN deleted or so they deleted
yeah, it
that
looks a little
footage,
floaty,
right?
but that girl still look
Or-
kind of bad, and I'm interested in still playing the game.
Forspoken looks kind of spooky, bro. It
Horizon
looks
Forbidden
kinda
West,
spooky.
I'm looking forward to because I enjoyed the first one. A lot of these dudes talk
Yeah.
about Horizon this year is capping because when Horizon, I was one of the first people to have it. I got it early at JNL when I used to travel to New York to get games, distant based games. But a lot of people are capping for Horizon because a lot of people didn't quote unquote like it back when it was new P. Now they're capping now because it's been dry. They've been trying to suck water out of cactuses. The game's been dry on PlayStation, so now they're capping the hell out of this game. It's going to be good. I know it's going to be dope. Horizon Forbidden West is going to be dope, but a lot of people are capping right now. So you got Forspoken, Horizon Forbidden West, GT Sport. Now people are doing this because they got smacked in their mouth by Forza Horizon. A lot of these dudes don't play Gran Turismo. They don't. It's a boring ass game. It is a boring. It's going to look good, but it's going to be boring. Forza Horizon is not boring. I'm sorry, it's just never been a boring game.
There's so much to do inside Forza as well.
So you got that, and then God of War. Hopefully, it's probably gonna come out maybe late summer, but I still think God of War could potentially make this year. And shit like Stray and Sifu, all that bullshit.
Smaller titles. They're smaller titles.
If they can bring up those games,
is,
because wait, let me get this out. If they could bring up like Sifu, Shaq-Fu, Cat-Fu, those games, I could bring up games like As Dusk Falls, Somerville, Tunic. Tunic has a release date.
Yes, you can see that.
Got a release date.
There's all these shits that are coming out. We got Crossfire X. We know Dark Tide is coming out. We got what's the other game that they just we know Scorn's coming out and all this. There's a lot of games coming out for Xbox, and I even mentioned the Redfalls, the Starfield, the Forza Motorsport 8. And there's another game from Obsidian coming out that's gonna get confirmed fairly soon. So what's up? What's up? I know.
All right, so here's the thing. You mentioned 2 games from Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Fine. I want to see gameplay of both of those games.
You will. It's coming out this year.
It's gonna come out this year, but I can't sit up here and be like, yo, we got Starfield coming, and I haven't seen anything about Starfield, given the track record of Bethesda. Like,
bro, people were talking about Wolverine for how long? When people were talking about Wolverine, all we saw was a claw.
Yeah, so those people, I'm also putting them in the same boat as well. Like, I can't hype up Wolverine without seeing what it's gonna be. It's a brand new game. Like I'm excited that they're making the game, but I want to see what it's gonna be.
See, and like that's the crazy
it's not gonna be
part
like
is
Spider-Man. It's gonna be completely different.
I hope it's not like
I hope
Spider-Man, because that's just making just the same game with a different skin.
Yeah, like you don't want to do that.
It's like all right. It's like these games. You should just be happy that you're getting fucking games, B. Like, and that's like the whole
I'm happy
thing
that I'm getting
about
games.
it.
I want to see what it is though.
It's like yeah, like I mean, we all do, and like we're eventually going to. So it's just like, but it's still just the time of just like getting these games and getting these announcements. It's just like people aren't even happy about announcements anymore. Instead about fucking games. It's like, I mean, like I'm always excited to get a new game, to experience something new. Like even if I'm not seeing what the hell the gameplay is at the moment. I mean, when I looked at G4 and like X-Play and all of this shit, or like Portal, these were games that I couldn't touch, but I was happy to see them. Like I was happy to see like a trailer every once in a while. I was like, this shit's gonna be cool. Like I don't know. Like every now it's just like the narrative has gone to like fucking gameplay now. It's like if it doesn't have gameplay, it doesn't exist. It's like shut the fuck up. You're not a game developer.
We've been led astray so many different times where they announce something extremely early. Or they announce something and nothing's shown. Like, look at what's happening with Rare and Everwild. It's a fucking disaster. They showed Everwild back in 2019, and they had to reboot the development of the game. Yeah. And then Jeff Grubb had to write an article like 2 weeks ago saying, yo, it's a fuck fest over there. They have no clue what they're doing with that game. So, like, situations like that is what I'm more wary of. And not only just that, but, like, with Bethesda, they have a track record of showing you something or announcing you something and promising you it, and then at launch it's broken, like a Fallout 76 or Fallout 4. You know, like these, we can't act like these games never happen.
Like, no, it's not about acting like they don't happen. It's just like acting like they've never done anything fucking good too. It's just like
they have, but I want them. Like, if you've done something shitty recently, I want to see you prove it to me again. Like Cyberpunk, I waited to play Cyberpunk because I'm like, yo, it launched in a pretty bad state. Of course. It's good now, but you know, people are going to be a bit cautious when they make their next game.
Yeah, like I mean, is this the excitement on the build of this being something new that it's like it's not the shit that they usually do. Like it's not Fallout, it's not Skyrim. Like this is something new that they could add to their list of like these big open world RPG style games. It's just like that is the most interesting part right there for me, is just that it's new. Like now when this game comes out, and let's say like it's fucking ass or it doesn't to do shit. It's like, yeah, like fucking like Bless Red said, like fucking last showing of Ghostwire was ass. Ever since they started showing that game, it looked like ass. Like, I'm sorry, it looked like a VR game that they just like. It looked like Super Lucky's Tale when they put it that shit. Like, it looks like it was meant to be like a VR game. Like, but like for Starfield, it's just like I'm amped up just because it's in space, it's different, it's fresh, it's their newest IP. Like, they haven't come out with shit for a minute. Like, I'm excited to see what they can do, like what they've done. Like,
What are you more
it's like
excited
being-
for? That game or Outer Worlds 2?
I think that's
already know what
unfair.
Outer
Like,
Worlds
because the
2
thing is like
I
people,
already
see, you know
I'm
what's
fucking
crazy?
with
You know,
you.
you know
I'm
what's
fucking
funny?
with you. I'm fucking with you.
No,
I'm
no, no. But you know what's
trolling,
funny? No, because this is what people are doing right now, right?
I'm trolling y'all.
For a while, Xbox got bashed for lack of new IP. Now
Yeah.
that Xbox has a bunch of new IP that you really can't relate to, they're getting shattered on because all the PlayStation games got is sequels, and Xbox all got is new IP, and they don't want to give credit. And like, I don't know, man.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, now
No,
that you
that's
mention
the
that is
thing,
kinda
right?
crazy.
They have to prove themselves because obviously Sony already has established IPs that's done well, so they can just keep iterating upon it. Microsoft has to build up a lot of new IPs and iterate upon that. That's all they have to do. Like, obviously Fable's getting rebooted, but technically it feels fresh, it feels new. Starfield is brand new, so people are more like that wait and see approach with it because they don't want to be like, oh, I'm extremely hyped for it, and then it disappoints. But Starfield, that's my mentality with that game. Like, whenever they do a
But that can
gameplay
happen
reveal,
with
that's
any
when I'm
game.
gonna be like, all right, this
Yeah.
is what it is. I'm ready.
But, like,
I'm
that
ready and geared up for the game.
But like that disappointment can happen with any game. Like, let's say, like, I
Yeah.
mean, shit, like God of War comes out and it doesn't hit what 18 did. People are gonna be disappointed. They're gonna be like, yeah, like this didn't hit the same way. It could be writing differences. It could be a bunch of shit. Because I don't think like was Corey involved with this, Joan? Because I forgot. I think
He wasn't. He wasn't.
He's not the
leading it.
director
Yeah, he's not the director.
because they change directors. I think every title to keep it fresh.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'd rather have Corey, but I understand. Like, it's just like any game, the sequel or not, like it runs a risk of being disappointing. Like definitely titles that are just like long and running and shit like that. It's just like it has a chance to disappoint. Like any title has a chance to disappoint, even if we know like the history of a title and the joint was fire. Like people love specific Sonic games at certain times, but then they've like hated other Sonic games because the joint was ass. It can happen. Like,
Definitely does. It definitely does. I'm just disappointed about the Stalker delay, man. I actually was looking forward to that
yeah,
game.
no, I am.
It's supposed to drop in
I am.
April,
Like,
right? It was supposed to be in April, and then
Yeah, it was April.
delayed until December. I'm like, wow. So the end of the year, for Microsoft in particular, is going to be pretty packed when you think about the announcements that they had for this year. And there's still a lot of unannounced shit as well. You know, some games don't have release dates. We don't know when Atomic Heart's going to come out. That's a game I'm extremely excited
Yeah, we
for.
don't. I'm excited about that.
Plague's Tale. We don't know when that's gonna get the release date because that's supposed to be coming day and day into Game Pass. So there's a lot of other games out there that are still like unannounced release dates for this year, and there's probably something up Microsoft's sleeve in terms of some sneaky release that's gonna come out. We don't know, but I just think the majority of the year is gonna be pretty, at least from the Microsoft side of things. Obviously, there's gonna be third-party games coming to the platform that people are gonna play. So.
I think it'll be lit. Like I just think that folks like they got to expand their taste a bit, like, and not just kind of like just jump in the damn box just because everybody else has jumped in that bitch. Like, it's just like there are games that are gonna come out, even if they are third party, even if they are indie, AA, whatever you want to call them. Like, there are gonna be experiences that you're not gonna get from these AAA games. Like, yeah, like the scale may be this or the fucking graphics may be that, but I mean, the experiences are what ultimately matter. Like, those are the things that you're going to remember outside of those things. So, like, I'm hoping that that they have like some surprises. I know they will. Like, I mean, Tunic coming out alone is just like, that's a banger. So it's like, I enjoyed the Tunic demo. I'm going to play Tunic. Fuck that. So.
Are you guys getting Dying Light?
Dying Light,
I
I
don't
might.
know.
I might. I know they had their whole 500-hour post. I was not feeling that.
kind of bad. That thing backfired on him pretty.
Yeah,
bad.
they
had
was
to
like-
backtrack that shit.
That shit scared people more than it invited them in. They was like 500 hours.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Dude,
again.
because like I don't know, like I'm just thinking about, man, I'm like, dude, like I don't want to do that. I want a nice, like, and then they came back and they said it's like 20 hours to beat the game. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
more reasonable. But you got to think, all right, mind you, look at that, or just think about that hour gap, all right? So you can beat the game in 20 hours, but to do every single thing is going to take 500 and some hours. So you're telling me there's
It's a lot of
400,
searching,
there's
dog.
480 out, like you're going to put 480 hours into this game to just do, for what? For fluff? If the main game is only 20
Yeah, if you're
hours?
trying to platinum that game, 500 hours is kind of fucking steep when you really
Like,
think
dude,
about
that's
it. Like,
that's what, 20 days?
completionist, yeah.
You telling me I gotta
yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
put 20 days of my life on this thing?
Don't get me wrong, like Dying Light has very addicting gameplay. My only issue with the original
Yeah.
Dying Light was the dialogue. Like a lot of the voice acting was pretty fucking bad inside that game. But overall, it was a very fun and enjoyable experience with the
Yeah.
skill tree, like a lot of the RPG elements, and how like you can become way better with your movement and the parkour just by leveling up, right? And then obviously, like the nighttime levels are really fun because you get so much XP from surviving in the night, finding weapons, crafting so many different combinations, like a machete with electricity or fire on it. It's really fun. You get blueprints and stuff. And I can't wait to see how they expand upon that with this game. Obviously, it's going to be a bigger map. There's going to be more quests, a better story. So it's obviously going to be more to do within the game. But 500 hours, like, that's the thing, is finding that happy balance. Obviously, if you just want to speed through the game, you can beat it pretty quickly. 20 hours, maybe even less than 20 hours, but you're going to be struggling towards the end of that playthrough because you're not doing extra side content. You're not doing that side content in the game to actually be leveled up enough to beat the final couple of missions and everything.
All right, hold on. Let's get this porn thing off the
block
off
that man,
yeah.
bro.
How we
Block
got 70 plus people in here and we only got 36 likes. Like, come on, please. How's any of you guys getting God of War on PC this Friday? I hear it's at 93 Metacritic right now. So
I don't know. I'll wait for it to go on sale. I already beat the game.
I'll just play it again on my
What am I gonna
PlayStation.
do?
If
I'm
I had
gonna look at it at 4K on my 3090 and be like, ooh, textures. Like,
And then,
I'll
and then
let
drop
other
it.
people do it. Yeah, and then drop it. I beat the game. I fucking
I don't know
like
why
that shit
people
last
do
year.
that shit. Like, if they had it on the PlayStation 4 or 5 and then they go and get it on PC, I was like, you're not going to replay the whole game. It just doesn't. I don't know why people do it, but I'm happy that it's there. I mean, it is what it is. Shout out to him Solo, man. I got to have you on this podcast very soon. Had I known, had I would have saw your name come across my timeline, I would have asked you at the last minute to see if you would be down today. But shout out to him Solo. I had him on he had me on his channel. We did a interview. It was a good doing his shows. He has a lot of good content that he does. Cool dude to talk to on Xbox Live parties as well. Shout out to Bless Red. I know I saw Salty earlier. We got RC Young, Blitz. I believe that's Blitz. Shout out to him. And we have, who else in here? My phone is blowing up. I apologize if it's vibrating in the mic.
Got Carlos Alvarado in here. Straight Duval, Storm Legend. Couple people in here.
The Almighty
Dark was
Spartan
in there.
God. Quite a few folks.
So the God of War dream, so he could do 120 frames.
On PC,
and
probably.
some moments. The game is pretty demanding once you turn everything up, but
Yeah.
you can hit it, but you're not gonna sustain it for the most part, depending on the resolution you're playing at. But
Yeah.
so far the port's looking good. Unlike Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was like a really trash PC port. So yeah.
Sony, they put all that work in,
good.
but they don't want to put it on. They don't want to put it on Xbox though. That's
Yeah,
the crazy thing.
why would you drop a shitty PC port and then you keep it on Epic Game Store of all places, and then you don't put it on Xbox, which the game would actually sell more on Xbox than PC.
Yeah, no.
But hey, it is what it is. You got people pirating the game and everything and modding the fuck out that shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
that was the dumbest thing from Square. That's what I'm telling you, dude. Square, whoever is running Square Enix we need to hop on the Discord and have a very long talk about their strategy of how they're rolling these games out, because Outriders, this very bad situation. What's the other devs that they have that makes Tomb Raider over there?
No,
that's-
Dynamic.
Crystal
Yeah, they
Dynamics,
don't- Crystal Dynamics, like they fucking threw Crystal Dynamics under the bus. Like,
For Marvel Avengers, yeah.
yeah, like come on, dude. I don't know. It is what it is.
They said if they don't want their Western division, you know, call up Xbox.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if those dudes over there said, "Yo, we'll come to Xbox." Imagine if people can fly and Coalition join together, one
Yeah,
big
that'd
ass
be-
fucking super studio, Unreal Engine 5, dude. It'll be
Yeah,
epic.
that'd be
I believe
fucking
People
tight.
Can Fly
That would be tight.
isn't owned by Square Enix. I think they just contracted them to do Outriders, or they just took up
Actually,
publishing
People
rights.
Can Fly got acquired by Tencent. I remember.
Yeah, some dumb shit.
Damn. Fuck that shit. They should have. Yeah, Microsoft. Phil Spencer. Yo, Phil Spencer, man, he kind of dropped the bag on that one, dude. I would have acquired them and just have them join up a coalition, just a super big studio, and you can have them doing different projects because you have that volume of employees.
Of like hands, yeah. Of
Yeah.
like knowledge and hands, like
'Cause they
oh, that'd
did
be sweet.
because they made
Mhm.
Bulletstorm.
Yeah, but they did
they
Gears
helped-
Judgment.
Gears Judgment.
Gears Judgment,
Yeah,
yeah,
Gears
you
Judgment.
can literally have like different Gears games, or like a different story of Gears, like how they did with High Busters, but on a bigger scale where People Can Fly. And then you
Yeah,
have,
they could have made did a spin-off game with those characters and have People Can Fly. Do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I be coming up with these ideas, man.
Like, 'cause
Microsoft hired
Judgment
me.
wasn't
Hired
a
your
bad
boy.
game. The only thing I didn't like about Judgment was this multiplayer. I feel like it was.
Yeah,
I didn't like the verticalness
Yeah,
of
the
it.
campaign was great. Like I love the.
That's the
four-player
thing.
Like
campaign, but the
You know what they-
multiplayer.
You know what they could have did smooth? They could have did how like Halo did it, where they had Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST, but you still had Halo 3 multiplayer across both games.
Yeah, that's what
So
they
you
did.
had-
Yeah.
You would have had Gears 6 with this campaign, the multiplayer, right? But then you could have People Could Fly make a different campaign game, but still have Gears 6 multiplayer attached to it.
Yeah.
Or like how Uncharted 4 did it with Lost Legacy. You still have Uncharted 4 multiplayer do
Yeah.
Lost Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it that way. That's
No,
it.
that would make sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of damn sense.
See, man, I could have made Microsoft a shit ton of money if they hired me, man.
You know, I mean, holla at the community, man. Shit, holla at me for
Oh, I'm here.
shit for that
You
rare
know?
game. That was
Phil Spencer, if you're
Wait,
there.
Matt Booty, I'm here. You know, if you
That'll
need
be
a
a
focus
story,
group, we
dog.
got you here at Planet Xbox. We will help you guys out.
yeah, like write that shit up, dog. Like, yo, like I can fuck some shit up.
I'm telling you, man. But I'm actually really excited for Coalition because they got something else outside of
Yeah, I
Gears
want to know
6
what
that
the
they're working
project that they're working on like now. Like, I'm just curious to see what that. I know what they teased for Unreal like recently.
on. That look crazy.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what they're doing. There's a lot of teams I want to see what they're doing. I'm trying to see who's like pretty much due to show stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Given like we can consider all the stuff, the announcements. We already got to see Hellblade 2. I don't think we've spoken since then. The Hellblade 2 gameplay, which I thought looked phenomenal. But for some reason, there's this group. There's still people. I don't know why these people keep taking the stream screenshot of it looking like a little bit distorted, and they're putting up
Little
against
muddy,
like
yeah.
4K high resolution pictures of like Horizon and like The Last of Us. I'm like, yo, do you guys like hate gaming? Do you guys hate Xbox that much that you can't give it credit for nothing? Absolutely
at all,
nothing.
man.
But Hellblade, like I said, it looked dope. I'm hoping to see more. And there's a lot of a lot of things I want to see this year. But so far, man, this year's starting off cool. February is about to be busy with all those games. You got. I know you mentioned Dying Light 2. I know a lot of people are looking out for Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West. Got Crossfire X.
Yeah. There's a lot, man.
Sifu.
Sifu. Destiny 2 has their DLC coming out in February. Edge of Eternity is coming to console for the first time. Yeah, that's pretty much like the bigger things outside of some like indie games coming out that month, which is pretty packed. So yeah, it's looking good all around.
Yeah, man. So with that, did we miss anything? I feel like
No, I feel like that was like most of the news though. Like I mean, I feel like we covered everything. Like that's pretty damn good.
yeah. So
I don't think there's anything else.
yeah, we could pretty much wrap up. I'm probably gonna continue on this Sleeping Dogs because I've been enjoying the game. I'm thinking about like 60%, 60-70% way through the main story. Like I said, I highly recommend if anybody's interested. I'm gonna put some games on my wish list. I think the Life is Strange you guys talked about, and a few others that I'm gonna have to go back and get. I still got to do my Halo Infinite Legendary Edition as well. Why is my door locked? Hold on, but you guys get ready to do your outros. I'm gonna go open my door.
All right, I'm ready.
Go ahead, do your outro, me.
No, I'm not doing that. I was just messing around. I was like, I'm ready. I'm already ready to go.
Ready?
Oh yeah, let's go. Well, it is Dope as Shay. You guys can check me on my YouTube channel and my Twitter at Dope as Shay for more content. And yeah, this is it. 2022 is looking like a good year for gaming. Another year of Planet Xbox. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in every single Wednesday. Drop a like. Check out the links in the description. We are here. Microsoft, hire me. I'm here for you guys.
And oh man, you ready to do your outro or no?
Yo, yeah. I'm Ole Man Logan. You can catch me out on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. But no, I'm happy to be here. Happy another 2022, another great year of gaming. I just realized I think this is over a year now that I've actually been a regular member on
Over a year for you,
podcast
yes, indeed.
member. I
You joined us when? 2020 or 2021?
I know 2020 I did a show when the Series X and PS5 came out, and then I think I want to say January was like the first, like January last year was when I came on the show. So I was like, crazy man, it's been an awesome year hanging out with you guys, talking video games. I'm ready for another year of it to keep that trend moving forward. You can also catch me over at Level 1 Gaming, where I write a bunch of stuff for that website. It's a great group of people. I just did a video with Fame over on their YouTube channel. It's called 15 Minutes of Fame, where I talked about Resident Evil 4 for 15 minutes. It's a great video. And yeah, that's it for me. Just stay gaming. That's all I say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sad boy.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter.
What?
Some shit, huh?
Yo, you muffled as hell, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
not like Little Sad Boy Blue on Twitter. I post like gaming stuff, like little clips of me dancing in Destiny and shit like that. Just having a good time, dog. Destiny's just a good vibe. I don't know. I just be dancing everywhere in that fucking game, and then like people just come around. Everyone just starts dancing. Like it's such a community that this is like, it just feels good. Like yeah, check me out there. Should I post like little bullshit here and there everywhere? I can't wait till these fucking games actually do release and quit getting delayed so I can actually stream them. Like I'm still wanting to stream Scorn. They definitely said that they were gonna have some news at some point, so it's just like coming up. So
you gotta start streaming now. You can't. Don't wait. You gotta start streaming now if you're gonna start streaming.
Like I don't really got nothing to stream at the moment.
What do
like,
you mean?
You can stream Destiny. What you mean?
I see a controller in your hand right now. You are
You can stream Destiny, man. You can build yourself a little following.
Yeah, like if you wait constantly for Scorn to come out before you're gonna stream, man, it ain't gonna matter if you stream Scorn. You gotta start doing it now.
Start now, bro.
You gotta start now.
I mean, on my days
No
off,
excuse.
like I'll see what comes out. Like I'll see what happens. Like
all you
I'll
gotta
put up
do,
the Twitch.
you got the shit right there on your Xbox. You just hit that
It's on
like
Smooth too, man. Smooth, you playing something, you in the Xbox live party, just throw that shit up, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I gotta. I don't know, because it depends on when I'm playing it. I'll be in a zone. Like if I'm in the zone, like when I'm in the zone and like I don't know how I can't play games I'm into because I can't have a conversation.
Yeah.
So
I get what you feel. There's some games that like I feel better off playing off on stream or off of stream, just because like I zone out and I just am focused on the game that I don't want any like side distractions and stuff to pull me out of it. I tried to stream Life is Strange last night and I was like, dude, I feel like this game's a game I just gotta play.
Yeah, play by yourself
and not stream it because it was just What I played of it, I think I got like an hour of it. Was like pretty impactful. I was like, oof, this game's for real.
Yeah, like, see, the only reason that I'm kind of like holding off for scoring is just because like it's a scary game and it's like I just want people there. Like,
Yeah,
so like I'm
play
just about to go.
yeah,
through it
man,
with
play
them, like,
Visage, play Resident
This is a
Evil.
good one.
I have like a
Like
heart
you got
attack.
you got all these scary games right now. Don't wait for one game to hold you back. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. You're holding yourself back, waiting for scoring. Because let me tell you what, if you don't build up till score, if you don't build up like any type of audience till scoring, ain't nobody gonna be there when scoring comes
momentum.
out.
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna be there watching you play scoring.
Yeah, I know. Like I definitely hear you. Like I'm gonna definitely try to get some streams in on my days off though. When my days are off, like I'm gonna definitely try to stream though, for sure. There's some Destiny shit. Like I'll be on it like 10, 12 hours a day, like on my days off. So it's just like.
That's just throw that shit
I mean,
up,
if
man.
somebody wants to watch me play Destiny, like I'll stream it. Like,
Yeah, people are always willing to watch that.
Guys, though. Huh?
So people are always willing to watch Destiny.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh
man.
But yeah, like go ahead, Smooth. Like you.
No. I was reading something. Just a lot of like crazy shit on the news, but
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I don't know what I have coming. Like I said, I should be doing a Halo stream fairly soon. You can follow me on Twitter. I've been in and out of activeness. And what else do I got going on? Not much going on, but we're back. I'm trying to do as many videos. I've been doing like playing games like that have been recently enhanced or FPS boosted and stuff, just to show them off that people haven't pretty much covered. I showed off Assassin's Creed, looks good. Sleeping Dogs, obviously you guys heard me rave about that. I don't know what I'm gonna play next or try next, but check it out. You'll be surprised.
Did you do Unity by chance? Unity might be a good one.
I've not done a Unity, but I did boot it up since it got the FPS boost. The only thing about Unity, even though it graphically it looks good and it performs well now, there's an FPS boost. It's a 900p image. I do want to return. There's 2 Assassin's Creed games I do want to truly like play and get out the way and finish it. I want to do Unity and I want to do Syndicate. And I'm waiting for them.
Syndicate was like Syndicate was the last Assassin's Creed game that I really got into, and I love that game. Just that setting, that steampunk kind of old timey world, dude. That was a breath of fresh air. And then they went and did these RPG
Origins.
bullshit.
Yeah, Origins is due to get a 60 FPS update soon. Where they said that they will be doing it. So I'm waiting for that. If they do that, I'm restarting my playthrough and playing that game again. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not. Share to your friends whoever missed it so they can watch it in on demand mode. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.